So what is the second item in the prisoner's wallet? We figured out what is the first one. Like purple dildo. What is the second one? Do you know?
I think it's the soap.
Oh, the soap. Oh, okay. Okay. Did somebody made a suggestion that it will be cool to make a slippery roads when it's raining, so you can like fall on the ground?
Yeah, nice idea.
That would be great. And also like when you are like drunk, you can fall off, fall down, and if you're walking backwards.
I think we have basic disruption of your movement when you're drunk. I think it's pulling to the side.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like when you're walking forward, you're gonna go like a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. It is not the best idea to drink and go deal with the centuries, that's for sure.
You tried it already?
Oh yeah, I did. In the Tisna. And I had a problems with entering inside of a military barrack. It was great.
Wait until we add some drugs. Psychedelic stuff.
Oh, that would be great, man. Trippy as shit, like hordes of zombies or something. Somebody told me that there is gonna be weed also.
Yeah, it's planned. Also smoking will be in the game. We just added cigarettes, but we need to set up animation and smoking effect in general. Right now we added a little bit more loot in general, that people have something to do, because lots of hardcore survival stuff are not still in the game. So it's much better to do something, play it, kill others, and try the weapons, because for example, medical skill is not ready, all the base fortification, cars and stuff like that. So it's not much things to do right now, but when everything is set, then we can probably lower the spawn rate of the loot and remove that base stuff like it is right now with the sentries. And
people are considering early access game like a finished product. Like there is a lot of things to do. Somebody has to test improvised bulletproof vest. Somebody has to test out I don't know, max patrols. Somebody has to test out weight on the new shirt. There's a lot of stuff to test, but people are playing it like a finished product, and that's a little bit, you know.
yeah, that's the problematic, but not only for us. But if you look at it in a different way, because we are a very small team, like 16 people, only 6 guys are started this game 2.5 years ago, and we had the great idea to make best survival games, but you don't have the money and the manpower to do it. But you have great idea, and probably big companies like Ubisoft, Electronic Arts will never try to do something like this. Maybe when something is succeed, like Call of Duty is doing, like right now, battle royale games. But before that, they will probably never tried it. They will do classic stuff like Call of Duty. And now, early access or Kickstarter help the smaller team to raise some money and present the idea in some way, like in alpha form on early access, and then people can see if they like this idea, and then that smaller team will have fundings to make something out of it. So that's the idea behind early access and Kickstarter, and people need to realize that. And right now, when the game is going pretty nice in the sale, we can double or triple the team and finish stuff that we promised. So that's the idea behind it.
Yeah, congratulations on 1 million sold. Like I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, we also.
Also, like there are obvious like refunds and stuff like that, but those are just like people that came from the PUBG and they do not know what the hell survival actually means. So
yeah, and some huge streamers also helped with that, because lots of them were actually PUBG players, and they entered the game. Then other players that are also PUBG gamers tried to play the game, and it wasn't what they expected to be. But in the end, this is just fine. More people see the game. Our main problem with our last Gazgazos Extreme game was we have great scores, like 88 was average of all reviews on the internet, and the problem was people didn't know that game even exists. And then maybe 4 years later, guys asked us, how didn't know about this game? I would definitely buy it with full price, because this was some kind of sale. if I did know about this game, and that's really shame because you make something good and nobody knows about it. So any way of promotion or mentioning your game can definitely help. So people right now knows about the SCUM, and some of them will stay, some of them will not like this type of the game. So that's fine.
Most of the people that are talking trash do not even know what the hell the game is about. And they do not know what the hell survival actually is, and they're not aware that there is a lot of stuff that are missing in the game, and they're gonna like every single small skill that you guys are gonna add in the future is gonna completely change the meta and how people are making their characters. Even now, I have debates, should I level up this or that, and like game is out like for 2 weeks, which is great.
Yeah, for us it was like 2 months. You will not believe what happened in the last 2 weeks and how hard we were working just to fix some stuff, because even for small company it's very hard to test some stuff. When we had like closed alpha testing, it's very hard to even collect 64 players to test some stuff on the server. So that's why real testing was with the streamers, and that was pretty brave to run it in that way, but we tried it and fixed it. And there is lots of, we didn't talk about it, but there was lots of attacks of the hackers and DDoS attacks. First few I think it's 5 days, we were constantly under attack on the master servers from the DDoS attacks. So people were attacking us from all directions. So it's very hard to handle all complaints from the users, try to fix the game, and at the same time fight with the hackers that are attacking us all the time. And this is not still finished battle, so it was very crazy and very stressful.
Yeah, I remember like when we gained the access, like streamers and content creators, when we gained the entrance like few days earlier, servers were running like flawlessly on the full servers, not like there was no problems at all. And like at the moment when everyone had the access, shit started to get real, man.
Yeah, it was lots of attacks. I at one moment it was one gigabit of traffic on the master server, and it was crashing all the time. People think that game doesn't work, and right now there is only 5 programmers, and we are very limited office space, so it's very hard to hire other people. So we are currently rushing, making patches and trying to find new office space at the same time.
You can come in my place in this crack headquarters. You have plenty of space here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, you are already in Skra, so.
Yeah. I even didn't have too much time to play it because it's always we fixing something, and even on the day of the release we push the release button, and then shitstorm happened, and we press like refresh button. It's already 50,000 players entering the game, and we needed to fix everything, and we were coding to 2 a.m. and other guys are celebrating, but 5 programmers on one computer trying to fix everything. So crazy stuff.
I mean, community sees how strong you're pushing the early access, and like that's the only thing that matters. It's like you guys are not talking too much. You're not hyping the shit. You just like one day here the patch notes. Oh, by the way, update your game. Patch is live, and it takes me like to go through all of those patch notes more than like what some of them are hyping up for months, right? So it is just like, I don't know, like people see that, you know, and people do respect that. So
yeah, and some bigger stuff, it takes some time. People see the patch notes and say, oh, this is what you're doing, but there is 50 other things that are in progress, and it's very hard to maintain everything and not to break current branch, because if you're doing on something bigger, you cannot push this, and this is must be removed from the build in some way. And there is lots of things that are work in progress, but they are not inside the game right now. So even if we push the patch notes with 20 stuff on it, it's probably 10 more that are currently in progress, maybe 50 or 40% done, but it's not there yet. And for some major feature, you really need some time, because that ballistics for the guns and penetration, it was done in 3 months. So this is not feature that you can do overnight, especially when you try to handle all the user requests, community stuff, and do some other business stuff that you don't see that is happening behind the walls. Like,
By the way,
can
I have two questions.
Yeah.
First is like in a PAX East, you were showing out bullet trajectory, like those colors, like you're showing the spear with the bullets, like how
Okay.
Can we get that command somehow, or will like are you gonna plan like to add that, because it is gonna be much easier for us to test different stuff.
Yeah, we can probably enable it. Lots of stuff are disabled right now because of the cheater hackers and and also the main problem with hackers is because Unreal Engine is open source, so lots of stuff is already known for them. If this is our engine, then it's a little bit different story. And when we enable some stuff like teleport, they can easily exploit that. That's why lots of stuff we removed for now. But maybe in some way we will enable it as admin of the server. But when we secure it in more way, but it's the same ballistic behind it. We even improved the penetration. We have like shooting range with all different materials available in game and with different thickness, like 5 centimeters, 10, 20, and then we used one by one gun and test the penetration on different materials. So that was done much later than the PAX demonstration there.
That's awesome. And the another thing is free cam in the single player. We had that.
We can probably enable it back because you can make some cool screenshots.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm asking. And not just that, I can also show people, like you can learn the patrols of the max and stuff like that in the free cam. It's so like overpowered.
Is there any underground base close to this area?
Yeah, on east, in B2 east.
Maybe it's better to go there because it will be.
Okay,
we'll enter it until we add zombies into underground bases.
Just wait. Oh, really? Oh, that would be cool. So you said that house fortification is gonna be like next bigger patch, right?
Yeah. The two biggest thing that we are working right now is the base fortification and vehicles.
Already vehicles?
Yeah, but not that fast. This is something that we are working. We need some time to test it. We already had some prototype for the vehicles before, but base for this code was not that good. It was pretty erratic in behavior, in collisions with some stuff, and then we leave it behind because we need to finish some other stuff for the alpha release. But we are back on it, and we are doing vehicles from scratch, so it will be much better than before.
Can you expect explosives then in the house fortifications patch?
Probably we'll start with smaller stuff. We'll try to make it in few phases. Like first you need to fortify doors and windows, then later on to destroy them with the explosive. Then we will probably able to make some traps to secure it more. And idea is also to have some stuff that you can protect your house, for example, with sandbags all around your house, and bring some walls in some way.
And
So
traps?
it's much harder to enter it.
Maybe traps?
Traps, definitely traps, yeah.
Will we have some kind of a restrictions, like military bases will not be able to fortify, or?
Probably not for the start. If you're trying to replicate some kind of bug, you really need to have full server. And it needs to be in debug mode to catch some crash, and that's why it's not problematic to fix some bug when you find it, but it's really problematic to find it. And some stuff you can not even predict what people are doing on the server at the same time, so some bugs can happen because somebody is doing something 10 kilometers away. So you think that you crash the server by doing something, but there is also 60 players that doing some other stuff at the same time. So
Yeah, I've seen in the patch notes, if you force log out, if you're dead and queued in the event, you're gonna crash the server.
yeah, exactly. That's very, very hard to replicate and then fix it and then try to replicate again to see if you're already fixed it. And that's the problem with massive multiplayer, and lots of stuff can happen, especially because you don't have all the stuff on the client. You stream in only what is near you, and you are stream in, stream out some stuff, but server is having loaded everything and simulate whole server on one core, and that's the major problem of the legs right now, because to reduce the cost of the server, everybody like Ark, Conan, PUBG running server instance per one core, because server cost will be $200 for 64 players if you are doing multi-core or stuff like that.
Were you thinking about adding bicycles before cars? Because you already have the model in the game, right?
Yeah, we have insane amount of items already done, because we have more content guys than the programmers right now, so there is insane amount of traps or crafted items, and they're already done, but waiting for programmers to implement them. So it's same with bicycles. So it's for vehicles, it's much more problem in the core of technology, how to drive cars, replicate it over network, and synchronize everything. And it's probably same problem to make a motorcycle, bicycle, or the car if everything else is not ready.
Yeah.
So
like for example, in Fear the Wolves, did you heard about that battle royale?
what about them?
So they had a problems with the vehicles. I do not know if they fixed them or not, but like everything was so like running like on those last Westes that I was playing, like everything was so stable except vehicles were rubber bending left and right. Like it was like server could not catch what the hell is happening with that vehicles.
Yeah, and the main problem is always performance of the server. This is what happens to everyone, because it's not, people think this is the network lag, but if server drops down to like 3 or 5 FPSs, for example, let's say it's 4 FPS, this is 250 milliseconds just to send one packet from server to the client. So you have virtual lag because of the server performance. 200 milliseconds, 4 FPS. 1000 milliseconds is 1 second, and then you have 250 milliseconds, and then on top of that you have the network lag of maybe I don't know, 30 or 40 milliseconds. So this is insane network lag if server cannot catch up with at least 30 FPS of updates.
Yeah, but
So
at least you guys know that you need to polish it before adding new stuff, right? So
yeah, that the only problem because of lag is server optimization, because we are running too much stuff on the server, and you probably saw that if the server have 20 players, you will not see the lag, but if this is 64 players and maybe 60 centuries, then maybe 50 zombies on the server, lots of different animals, you will come to pretty large number, maybe like 200 characters on the server. This is even bigger than the only 100 players in the PUBG, because they are running only players. They don't have the AI and different stuff. So it's insane number of characters running only on single core, and everything is on 12 by 12 kilometers map. So that's why that slowdown happens, and then from time to time server can drop to 4 FPS if lots of action is happening, and then you will see the teleporting of the players. It's nothing regarding network optimization or server lag. It's just server is stuck in very low FPS for short or long period of time.
Too much to carry.
Yeah, too much to process, because we have like 50,000 actors in the world, so we need to simulate them all at same time. The server cannot pick up what will simulate. They need to simulate whole world, because something else is happening on other side of the island.
Which means you guys are gonna probably need to like lower down specific stuff.
Probably some stuff, or try to see what is the biggest problem and optimize them. For example, last 2 or 3 patches we already done some things on the lag side, and we removed lots of animation from the server code for the players, and we approximate some stuff. This is something that Epic told us they are doing in the Fortnite to bring the server to the better performance. And also I think we will have lots of improvement with 4.20 version of the Unreal Engine, because most of the great stuff happened there because of the Fortnite. We are one version lagging. We'll probably need 1 week to switch to the new version of engine, but we think we'll get lots of performance improvement on the client side and also on the server side.
That's great. I mean, as long as like you said that you're gonna expand the team like joystically now, just because of the great like how much copies you sold, and like I'm really looking forward like when you guys have like more power into the office, man. It's gonna be like such a relief for everyone.
Yeah, definitely, because people are already burned out in lots of ways, because I'm in crunch time last year and a half. Last 2 months I was working 7 days a week, and this is not 8 hours. We are talking about 12 hours at average. So 7 days, you don't know what day it is, and everything blends out. So it's very very hard, because we're trying to compensate no manpower in the office, because there is no budget, and there is no also office space. So because even if you want to hire somebody, you will need to have space for him, and you will probably need to spend some time to get him used to the code and our work ethics and some stuff. And even if new programmer comes, he cannot produce something like month or two maybe, because
Of
he needs
course.
some time to analyze code, and so we can show him what we are doing, how we are doing it. So
Yeah, it is gonna take some time for you to learn them, how you're doing it, why you're doing it. But
yeah, and at the same time, for example, if you have 5 programmers, then you're, for example, working at 100% rate, and you bring 2 more guys, and you probably at some moment working at 80%, because you need to handle them at the same time.
yeah,
So
same thing is in the
that's
kitchen. Same thing in the
yeah,
kitchen. While I was
yeah,
working as a
that's
chef, like here is more power, and then like I'm losing more time for showing them than me actually doing it solo. Like, yeah,
yeah, same thing happens here. And that's why you cannot even hire too much people. That's what has happened to the PUBG and Daisy and everybody else, because you need to grow fast, and if you add too much people at the same time, you will not able to handle them at that point. So you will be slower than before. So there is some time that need to pass, just so that everything settles down. If you compare different industries, nobody will complain to buy some GPU card for $1,000, because this is something that you can feel, and feel the heaviness of this graphics card, and say, okay, this is probably worth it, and stuff like that. But it's very hard to feel how many years is put into this kind of product, and how many ages of our lives gone into this project. And it was tough, very tough for some guys. There was moments when we were like 23 hours in the office. For example, in our last project, 6 months we were not having 1 day off. So this is something you will not probably experience in some other industries, but happens in the game development.
tough skin.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sooner or later, like I really hope that you guys will not get burned out, and yeah, I mean that new team, like when you guys are gonna add more people, it's gonna be so much easier for everyone.
Yeah, right now we are coming back to normal working hours, but it's not possible. Like, it's official, you can work 8 hours, but it doesn't work. Especially if you release the patch, then you need to monitor. It's not only time that you are in the office. For example, you need to come to home, eat, and then watch what is happening on the forums, and with the server. If is it some server crashed, is master server is working fine. If is somebody reporting something, and there is lots of work that need to be done even after you exit the office. Do you have one eye on the server logs right now? Yes, I have 3 monitors right now and
I also have 3
playing
monitors. Cannot wait clan wars with the base fortification. That will be so sick. I'll actually need to start to play in a team when base fortification comes.
Yeah, definitely, because it will be very hard to maintain the base. We already have some code done. For example, we have generator ready. This was even before alpha release ready. We have generator that can power the electrical fences all around your base, and you need to have the fuel to run that generator. So if you touch the fence, you will be electrocuted. So the
Okay.
idea is, yeah, the idea is so you can secure the base even if you are not there. If you are powering it with enough fuel, so generator runs on fuel. But you will need to pick up the fuel on the gas station and around the world to have it. So you will need to leave the base for some time to have it. It's also idea for start.
Hello?
We'll probably start with vehicles that have unlimited time, unlimited fuel. But later on, you will need to also find the fuel for the car, and of course, if you find some broken car, you will need to fix it, change the batteries or sparks and stuff like that. We have also lots of recipes done, but cooking were a little bit broken, so we removed it just
that cooking
until we finish
percentage.
it. Yeah, that it was some stuff because at last moment lots of things in database regarding food were in kilograms, so we converted everything to 100 grams, because when you check the label on the food, you will see that everything is rated regarding carbs, sugars and stuff in 100 grams. And we didn't have time to change code for the cooking and other stuff to work in the new unit measures, and that's why we remove it. And when you cook something, you get more stuff than expected, and some crazy shit happened with it, so we remove it. But you can actually make pizzas from other guys, but this will come very soon.
That's awesome. Yeah, that when you're like cooking with the skewer, that was like such a great thing. Like you need to like take care of your meat so it's not gonna be overcooked.
Yeah, that's the idea. So you will have more problems if you eat raw stuff, so you'll need to cook it. I'm going to the church. There is always gun in the church, you know that.
Yeah, and the M1 or Car 98 on the bell tower. And there are also a lot of trash piles with the gunpowder, and there is also a cabinet there you can find a backpack.
Yeah, and the booze is always on the altar.
Oh yeah, and the booze, yeah.
It's also idea to have bigger towns, not like only villages. With
I mean, to be honest, Tisno is great town. Maybe my favorite one.
these.
You don't like it? It's the best.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's the best. I don't know. To be honest, I was not checking out West Coast like D4 and B4 too much.
Yeah, I don't have too much time for play this game. Only when testing some stuff. I'm currently 166 hours, but I have probably around 300 or 400 hours in total.
And about the weapon animations, I have seen the patch notes, I haven't checked it out. You added new animations on the M1 and AK?
Yeah, we are constantly improving it over time, and there is lots of different weapons in the made right now, but it takes some time to test the ballistics and other stuff, and also animations.
There was a lot of people that were asking about
right now
about AR, because you're adding .357 ammo. Can we expect the AR with that caliber?
Yeah, definitely. The main problem was first try to make all possible combinations with the gun, and when we code all the combination. For example, to have shotgun and to have some kind of carabine and automatic weapon. Then we covered everything. Then it's just a play in the database for the ballistics. What's the weight of the bullet, and what's the charge of that bullet, what energy that bullet brings. And when we made a new type of the bullet, then everything is done. It's more work than on the animation, because you need to make animation to work in the third person and the first person, because we shared everything. That was one of the problems, but you get lots of good stuff from it. The same animation you're running on the character in first and the third person, so you see the same body, same clothes, same stuff. And if you try to make look something good in the first person, then maybe looks like shit in third person. So you need to change it again. And if we were working only on the first person, it would be much easier. But today, lots of people like to play in third person, so it will be really shame not to support it.
Including me. I also like when there is some kind of like RPG element, I like to see my character, especially with a lot of clothes.
Yeah, because we have lots of things right now. In the future, you'll probably, for example, if you have some kind of wound, then your animation will change, and because of that, it is very nice to see your character, especially if you're fat. You like to see how your body fat is jiggling.
And also, let's not forget about female characters and titties.
Yeah, definitely, that will come, because it's not problem to scan. We already have like 15 different faces and characters already scanned. We'll prepare them very soon, and it's much easier right now to add male person, because animation is the same. But if you put the male animation into female body, it doesn't work. So that's the biggest problem, and we have like thousands of animation. It doesn't look like that, but there is lots of small things blending in the background at the same time. So you need to prepare lots of different animations just to support females. And after that, when you have the female body and animation are working fine, then we can add many different female bodies at the same time.
Yeah, especially when you have like such an in-depth like weight system in a game, like everything has to be like.
Yeah, it's always problem to prepare new stuff, but when you have it, then you get explosion of different features, and really takes some time to make some stuff. Especially, it's only 4 animators right now, 5 programmers in the team, only 2 guys doing level design, so it was very hard to fill 144 square kilometers of everything. And
people are asking, will we be able to control mechs? I think Wonder already confirmed that we'll be able to control mechs and drones.
yeah, it's idea. When hacking skill comes in, you will have tablet, laptops, and stuff like that, and you will also be able, if you're high level skill, idea is also to hack and maybe control player for short period of time, other players and their BCU chip.
Wow.
So that's also in the plan. Yeah, and also taking over the drones and the mechs. Some stuff are of course on the paper, but we need to see how this work in the real life. There is also lots of stuff in the game already, but have been removed because it's something that you can talk about on the coffee, and some time that you need to invest into development and testing, and maybe this new feature collide with other features already in the game, so you actually need to remove it. So that's some simple stuff can cause lots of different problems, and it's very hard even to see it.
What about silencers? Can we please have a game without a fucking pussy as silencers, please?
Yeah, I just talked today with my wife about it. She saw on lots of different forums that people doesn't like to have silencer. So I don't know. I original idea is to have them, but we need to see what will happen. If we have them, it will probably very hard to find them, and
Maybe fame points
use them only on handguns and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I was actually saying, like yesterday, I think. Now people are asking, is this gonna be in game? Is this gonna be in a game? Like, how about having a stable server first, guys, huh? What about that? I think that
Yeah,
would be great.
yeah, that's the problem. We also have few features done, but we are a little bit afraid if we release some feature, people will say, "Oh, you are not fixing the game, and you are working on new features, but base game is not working," and stuff like that. It's always not good. If you're not fixing, giving new features, then it's not good, and if you are fixing it, then it's also not good. And for example, few guys said, "Oh, you're still adding." Fixing some stuff, and where is the content, and I don't have nothing to play right now, and
Poor guys.
yeah, it's very hard to please anyone.
I think focus mode is a little bit OP, to be honest. Maybe it should like decrease the stamina or something, because I don't know. At least like when I'm playing the game, I'm always in a focus mode. Always. It is so overpowered,
Yeah,
and like rain
yeah,
and everything.
yeah, that was feature I think long time ago. Maybe somebody broke it with something, I'm not sure, but you saw one of the developers video that focus mode has been using the stamina, because you are
Yeah, I remember.
yeah, trying to focus all the time, and that takes some energy even in real life. So that was the feature before. We need to check it out.
I mean, to be honest, like the only problem that I have with the silencers is that right now map is like on 30% of original size. Like let's just say like it is gonna be even bigger. If there is gonna be 64 people, if they're gonna be silencer, you're gonna never find another prisoner, right?
Yeah,
I mean, of course, when missions come, people are gonna be forced to be on the specific locations. So, like, the only thing that is gonna force PvP are gonna be missions, I guess, in the future.
yeah,
Because, like, if you, I mean, I don't even know. I'm assuming that 64 player is gonna be like standard.
yeah, yeah, it will be the standard. We just need to optimize everything. And there is also lots of features that coming. For example, there will be also loot that corporation brings down just to make some fights on different location. Idea is to announce where the loot will be dropped, and the cargo plane will drop like maybe 5-6 boxes in the larger area like airfield, and it will be very good loot there. So this is something that will attract players to go there and fight for that loot. So it will not be only on one location, and you will not have sentries there. So it's good to go there, but in some bigger containers, maybe some surprise will be there, like threats. So you will also need to be careful when opening that bigger crates. So that's one of the ideas. Also,
Like
there is lots of things
random
are missing right now to balance everything. So it will come over time, definitely.
Yeah, like random dynamic events, right?
Yeah, yeah, and also that you can exchange fame points for some other stuff.
Yeah, that is
This
gonna
is-
come with the safe house, with the safe zones, right?
Yeah, maybe you can order some loot on you if you have enough fame points, but then you are also target for everyone else, because everyone will see that parachute is dropping next to you.
I remember when I was playing like DayZ mod, the biggest challenge, the biggest like event was like a random airdrop, random helicopter crash site. It was so cool, like you're just like running around and you like see airdrop, like crashed heli site, right? With the like
Yeah.
pulse and oh my god, man.
Yeah, somebody asked for the medical skill. We have lots of plans with the medical skill. One US Ranger that was working as medic in American Army, he is actually a gamer, so he gave us lots of great ideas how to some real field stuff translate into the game and have some fantastic experience. So you will need to take care different parts of the body in different way. So there will be also special medical kit that you will need to use different stuff inside that to treat some stuff, wounds, for example.
Oh, that's awesome. Like if you're like severely wounded, like you're gonna need like bigger medical skills, or your body
Yeah.
with the bigger medical skills. Oh, that's awesome. It is gonna piss off so many snowflakes that do not know what the hardcore is.
Yeah.
I have one idea. I do not know. I really want to hear your opinion. I wanted to add it in the suggestions, but it is so hard to explain it. So basically, right now, like current meta where to find PvP is the airfield, and everyone is going airfield or like those specific places in the B3 and B2 and stuff like that. So my idea was every single server is gonna have this different heat map. Let's call it a heat map. So for example, you're gonna when you open the map, you're gonna get the overlay with the locations that are heavily populated, like with the red color, for example, and locations that are low populated with green color, and locations that are like whatever, like in the middle with like, I don't know, orange or yellow or whatever. And then if you're going in the red area that is heavily populated, every single action that you're gonna do in that heavily populated area, you're gonna lose fame because it is boring. Everyone is in the airfield and it is boring. Everything like TV show wise, like everyone is just like the airport. It is boring, right? And like you're losing points if you're doing specific stuff in the red heat map. But if you're doing stuff in the green heat map, you're getting more experience, more fame points. So it is gonna like it should balance the players across the map, right? People will stop going airfield, for example.
Yeah, one of great idea how to balance everything, because right now we changed some stuff in the last moment. For example, there is only maybe 30% features that we plan to add in the final game, and if you release lots of these features and there is not everything ready to bind everything into some logical stuff, it's much better just to give people some stuff to entertain themselves and try it, and maybe play a game more like in BR way right now, because it's at least fun to shoot other guys, and some guys will play on the server like some kind of role play and try to bind each other to some kind of team, but it's still a sandbox when people can do, and more logical right now is to kill other people. So I'm not mad that people are playing the game right now in this way.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but when more stuff comes in, it will be much different story.
First, people were crying how there is not that much loot, and then I placed on the servers ×2 loot, and then people are crying how there is too much loot.
But people will always complain because people say there's not too much thing to do, but in the end, what you do in the BR games, spawn, pick up a few stuffs and kill others. So then if this is true, then nobody will play games like more popular ones BR right now.
Yeah, but still people do not realize that you're getting more satisfaction in a kill that happens every 2 hours than in 20 kills that are happening in 1 hour or 1 minute, right?
Yeah.
You appreciate that kill much more, and that is the...
Yeah, much more. This is that adrenaline rush only happens in the games like DayZ. This is the reason why people played the DayZ, even if game was very long in the alpha state, and even DayZ in that state, they probably done some wrong moves here and there regarding finishing the game, and they had lots of problems. I will not judge them. But even game in that state, people had like 3,000 hours of fun. So what you can ask more to have 3,000 hours of fun for $20 or $30? It's not that bad deal, if you ask me. You can eat one pizza for that. When I'm back from work, then I turn on TV and we always switch to you and watching Twitch. What is Eroktic is doing on SCUM.
Yelling on the max usually.
Yeah. I like that intermezzo stuff that you are doing all the time.
Yeah, thank you, man. I also like your game.
You will need to visit our new office when we settle down. Right now it's crazy.
That will
Lots
be...
of people in small room.
That would be great. Can you ask a dev if they will be able to
regarding
disable
this,
the max?
people think this is the memory leak, but there is no memory leak right now. There is one bigger problem. People are spawning lots of loot. When you search the cabinet, you actually spawn that item on the floor, but
Someone is
the
here.
item is hidden. Yeah, regarding that, there is lots of different items pile up on the server. And when you are going around the world, you pick up all that items in your vicinity, and they end up in some large queue on the client side. And your client is trying to update all that objects. So when you enter the server, you start like 0.5 milliseconds, and after playing some time, that will bring up to 10 milliseconds of update time. And this is why you see your FPS drops down. There is no leak, and when you enter the server again, you will only stream in level all around you, and your FPS will go up. So we are trying with Epic to solve that problem right now.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
My, how to say it? I have my own theory, and you have to confirm it if that's true.
Okay.
So, that cannon ammo is the actual ammunition from the sentries, and in the future we'll be able to dismantle sentries and make our own cannons out of their arms.
It's something like that.
Okay.
You are close. Yeah, it's also idea. Currently, you don't gain nothing special except fame points from the centuries, but in the future, idea is to get something out of them, definitely. And also, idea is to make some kind of weak spots on the centuries. So it's not like you are attacking them with the brute force, spending lots of bullets on them. It will be more like explosive stuff to bring them down. That's one of the ideas.
Like opening the like heavy armor shell first and then shooting the core.
Yeah, and of course we will have RPGs and rocket launchers and stuff like that, so you can use that. So you will not be able uh, to bring them down with the bullets, but they will have some kind of soft spot on their back, like some kind of exposed batteries, and it's also idea. You will not kill them with that, but maybe make them blind to shoot like crazy. But they will not see you anymore if you hit with the sniper that soft spot on the sentry. That's the idea. So you can temporarily disable them. There is also talk.
And the EMP grenades would be awesome also to
Yeah,
disable them.
that was the next thing I was wanted to say. And it's also idea to have some kind of EMP grenades where you can disable them for short period of time just to avoid them. Yeah, compass is on to-do list. Also done compass and crafted one. So you will be able to craft compass. So this is again one of the problems. It's maybe better to give people map on the start until you make something. You need to, for example, find the pieces of the map or chart some stuff into the map or have the compass and stuff like that. But if this is not done already, it's much better to people have the map and learn it on the way. So that's why people can get different vibes on this game right now that is not that hardcore in the beginning, but again it's much better to maybe show it to wider audience and people can see the game and try different stuff than much slower pace than this one.
Yeah.
Because it's better for the promotion and starting sale and stuff like that.
I remember in one of the interviews, I cannot remember was that interview on the Croatian or not, but on the beginning you said that you'll not even add a map into the game, like at all.
Yeah, that was our decision, and it will probably be removed in the future. But you will need to have tools to navigate through the map. Until that is done, it's much better to have the map so people can explore and report some stuff that they found in the game, like broken stuff, report bugs and.
I agree. Like maybe even like fragments of the map and having the actual physical map that if you die you lose it. You know, that would be so like hardcore.
Yeah, physical map. That's the best idea, and also to have map in the pieces. So you find the map for one region, but you will need to find other stuff also.
to keep it in the immersion, maybe some kind of upgrades for the BCU can unlock the compass in the BCU, like so you can see it on HUD or something like that. Like everything is possible. Like core element of a game, like lore of the game, can make you do anything that you want, and everything is gonna be immersive.
Yeah, that was the original idea, how to make some kind of the story that can back up everything you do in the game. Everything is possible because of this BCU and near future. Farmer is asking what is being done regarding hacking. There is lots of things are done regarding hacking. There is no lots of communication to the players what is happening, but we already banned like 5,000 plus people from the game and doing that all the time. We are not talking too much because there is not good. Even was mistake to tell the people what anti-cheat will be used for the game before game was released. So when we talk about cheating and measures that we are taking, it's not good for the game. Everything I say they can use against us. So that's the reason why we are not talking. But 1,000 people are already banned, and we are constantly fighting and updating game all the time. We and the Easy Anti-Cheat is also working on that all the time.
I mean, I'm always saying like it is much better to play on a private servers. If you know the admin or someone, just play on the private servers. So like for example, I can ban them instantly, right?
Yeah,
If someone is shooting.
that was also one of the problems. If, for example, if did we release the server files, then it will be even worse regarding cheat and hacking, because hackers then have access to the server code, so they can do much more worse stuff than they are doing right now.
Oh my god, yeah.
And
Thank
I
you.
also said that because we are using Unreal Engine, this doesn't help, because this is open source engine and people can see the source code and inject stuff much easier than if we are doing our technology. That's definitely one of the problems. Even if game is successful and selling good, then you will have even more problems. So
Are you planning, or is it possible to add some kind of a report, like with the suggestions and reports in a game?
yeah, that's in the plan to report directly from UI other players and cheat.
Yeah,
But
but
it's over.
even the bugs and stuff like that.
Yeah, bugs will be also great to have it, but I will never understand that cheating guys what happening there.
In their heads.
Yeah, it's impossible for me to wrap this around.
I was listening that from like other guys, like there is like complete culture in China, like culture, like you have a gaming scene and you have cheating scene, and they're all like following each other, and they're all like making tutorials and guides how I'm doing tutorials how to avoid goddamn mechs, they're doing tutorials how to cheat. Like
Yeah, insane.
it's like counter gaming, like, but that passion is probably coming originally from the coders, right? Like there is a guy that is learning how to make scripts and stuff like that. And I mean, I have one of my friends is like was like creating a bots to automatically farm in RuneScape, and like
Yeah, I can understand that part. In some way, it's challenge to hack something or code something, but what happened with all those script kiddies that using other code to I don't know, achieve something?
to be good
This
at a
is-
game.
Yeah, because you are not good.
Yeah.
You are not good at coding, and you are not good at playing the game. So what you are good at?
Oh, burn. It hurted me actually a little bit. Okay.
But it's true.
Yeah, it is true.
At least if you are good hacker, you can code some great stuff and maybe use for destructive purpose. But again, you are doing that stuff very good, and they are very clever guys. Trust me. Somebody asking how we pushing patches so fast. One reason is because lots of us are very experienced in the industry. We have guys that work in pro team. I was working in a different company. Second one is because we are very organized. We are not losing any shit on unnecessary stuff. Everyone knows what they need to do, and we are giving the task and recording time for every task that we are spending, so we can predict much better how much time we will need in the future for every task. So that's why we are doing stuff very, very swiftly. But there is also some very big risk by doing that. Some stuff can actually escape. So some of the bugs you will not catch, because if you are doing some stuff that fast, lots of bad things can happen. You experienced one with loot box in last patch. There is
They're gonna do
a
that.
rough roadmap for everything that we plan to make, but we'll also make more detailed roadmap. Actually, we started yesterday writing more detailed roadmap, and we are breaking that into smaller tasks, so we can also internally track what we are doing and how fast we are doing. So we'll probably share some stuff from there. And it's also idea to show more stuff what we are doing before patches, because we will at some point we will need to slow down with the patches, because we can break lots of stuff by doing it. That happened with the database files, save files, and with loot boxes in the last 2 patches. So we'll need to a little bit slower that down, and especially some tasks take some 3, 4, or 5 weeks to make. So but in the meantime, we will definitely try to share some screenshots and stuff from the game, what we are working.
I mean, to be honest, I have no problems with complete character wise, because there is like it is so easy to get gear, and like I don't know.
Yeah, right now it's easy, and again, this is one of the reasons why we have so much loot, and it's much easier to test some stuff and experience some stuff much faster, much less worse to lose some gear. But I didn't know even that some people had like 20 loot boxes in the world. Who's that?
Oh, for what? For who?
I didn't know that this is used so much. So
I mean, to be honest, like the only thing that is really like pity when there is a complete character wipe is character skill progression. But in 2 weeks, like I don't know, like there is not even that much stuff. Like there is no advanced plus yet in the game, right? So
yes, there is it. I heard you that you was telling that in the stream, but there is actually. But it's only skill that you can gain by getting experience point, and it's very hard to get it.
yeah, it's in
So
millions.
yeah, it's in the millions, and it's probably not balanced already. So probably no one can get there right now. But I
Challenge
definitely need.
accepted, Leva. Challenge accepted.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
I
that you?
definitely need to check that. Is that you? By the water.
Drone is on me. Yeah, that's you.
Okay. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, you kind of scared me.
Yeah.
This goddamn drone is killing me last 2 days, man.
He is a little bit annoying.
Oh
He
my
also
God.
needs to give us some loot when we kill him. So.
I was actually having the great idea. When the drone is on you or on me, if I kill you or you kill me, you get insane fame points. Or if you kill the animal when the drone is on you, you're gonna get more fame points. Like it is actually like TV camera, right?
Yeah, and it will be also great that like drone captures some screenshots from you when he visits you.
Oh, that would be so great! Like, oh my god.
One guy is asking, how did we get idea to make this game? The idea is last game we were making was car combat game. It was pretty actually. We are throwing up.
Yeah, I need to throw up because I'm gonna have problems with pooping.
Okay.
My infestance is on 77%. Yeah, I think I'll be okay.
And then after we finish this car combat game, we were asking what we'll make next. So then we checked what genre is more popular, because the problem was with our last game that racing games are not that popular, not selling that much. So even if you make like best rated game, you will not sell that much, and you will probably need to close the company. So we had very rough times, and then idea was what is more popular, and then when we saw that survival game has some potential, then we ask ourselves, okay, if we are going to this genre, we needed to make best game there. So it will be same with any other genre that we picked up, and it's not a problem for us to learn everything. And even we didn't know nothing about racing game, and we make very good racing game, and right now we'll make very good survival game. So after we decided we'll make the survival game, then we decided what is lore about the game, what is the story, and then we filled up elements and started to working on it. And actually we tried every other survival game on the market, and trying to see what is working and what is not working and how we can. So that's the short story about history of SCUM.
But to be honest, like, let's be real. If you really wanna like do something that is selling good, you would just add a goddamn fucking circle with the goddamn airdrop on this map. Let's be real.
And it's much easier.
Yeah, it
this
is.
will be yeah, this will be probably done in 1 year and not 2.5 years.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, there has to be passion in that also, not just making money or
and
whatever.
people are saying, please no battle royale, but but then after this stream they will probably play it. Regarding single player, yes, it will be NPCs in the single player, so you'll have something to do.
People are asking how outposts are gonna work. I mean, that is gonna all come with like missions, I guess, and with like later down the road, right? Are we gonna have NPCs in the open world? Like, I'm assuming we will have them in the safe zones.
NPCs in safe zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Because it will be some kind of medical bay when they can help you to heal and some stuff. Maybe take some missions from them. So there was idea on that, but we didn't expand it. Idea is first to finish second stage of development. This is that fortification, traps, lots of different weapons. We are still missing bows. This is that first tier of looting, so you don't need to go to the cities or other maybe airport. Idea is to have everything in the woods. So that's one of the I think we didn't even mention in the last patch we started experimenting with some caves, and I think one cave is already in the game right now.
I remember that somebody mentioned in one of the developer vlogs that there are gonna be like underwater caves.
Yeah, that's the idea. We just experimented with that. Some of the caves will be probably even connected with the underground base.
I was not even thinking about like that you're gonna add puppets inside of the bunker so it is harder. I mean, it should be harder, it is so cheesy.
Somebody is asking about sale. No, it will not be the sale. The price will go up for the game with bigger patches. So if you are trying to support the game right now, it's much better to buy it right now than later on.
Ask Dev if the game is gonna get more expensive. Yeah, they're
Yes,
gonna...
game will be
Yeah.
more expensive in the future.
Another question is about proximity slash openings. So when you guys add fortification, like base fortification, will there be a chance to loot through the wall?
No, in the future we will add raycast for every item that you are checking in vicinity. So if something is behind wall or door, you will not be able to pick it up. So that's the idea.
That's awesome.
So that way you need to see the item to pick it up.
I realize that people are not playing events that much anymore.
It really depends what people like to play, because we play in lots of different events, even last man standing and capture the flag and stuff like that. So it will be lots of different game modes. So I think in the future we will catch up, even when we a little more invest time into fame points and what fame points can be used for, and it will be much more
Rewarding.
easier to get fame points, because people like to like audience outside of this show like to watch this.
A great suggestion. Adding fake bullets in a game, so you can test people, like if they're friendly or not.
Yeah, that's the great stuff. Also, when we bring some stuff like uh, tying people or other people, pickpocketing where they are not looking at, maybe they can detect that with their awareness skill. But if you tie them up, idea is that you can strip items from them, and also
Use
maybe
dildo.
make yeah yeah, and make the fake bullets, and also make explosive bullets, because I heard about stories in Iraq when they make a small amount of explosives in AK bullets, so when somebody's shooting AK explode. So
Oh,
so this can be great idea to maybe craft some kind of uh, uh, bad bullets, explosive bullets, or bullets that doesn't work. Maybe have the primer inside, but don't have the uh, powder inside. We also working on the improvised guns, so you can craft one from scratch.
oh, that would be great. Waist bags are OP, I agree. 5 kilo weight, 6
Yeah,
slots. GG.
yeah, but you are suffering regarding your look when you are wearing it, so it needs to be yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, binoculars will be added, of course. With programming skill, you will be able to hack sentries, drones, and probably even other BCU chips.
Which means end probably puppets and players.
Yeah,
Which would be so sick.
yeah, for short time. And they're in the woods and like listening the music and cooking something, and you take over one guy. But you will be probably need to be 100 meters, 50 meters away from them. So you'll need to sneak there and try to take over for maybe 5 or 10 seconds. Yeah, we need to add indicators on the first person HUD and HUD in general regarding shooting mode and bullets, because currently only inventory can see if rifles in single shot or burst mode.
I mean, to be honest, if you learn how to play without them, you should. It is kind of cool to be aware how many bullets you have in a magazine all the time.
Yeah, it's same in real life. So
Yeah.
you need to remember if something is in chamber, and people die because of that in real life. Forget about one bullet in chamber and stuff like that. We also need to add firecrackers just for making loud noises, so we can attract puppets to the other guys or some specific place. Yeah, traps for the humans and for the animals are planned.
And they're gonna also change the version of the engine, so it's gonna work much better. So they will be able to add more stuff and increase more spawns, right?
Yeah, we just started this week on the conversion for 4.20, and we hope that this will bring the performance up, and I hope everything will go. It's not always great to switch engine on the complete game, but it will take some time, like 1 week at least, to switch the engine, and maybe additional 1 week to check everything if something is not broken, because Epic likes to change some stuff all the time, and from version to version they also always break some stuff. That's why we were lagging with the development, and we moved the release because of that, because lots of stuff break from version to version.
Yeah, but it is always smarter to switch it while it's like fresh than when it's like completely.
Yeah,
Like,
we just always wait to go, like, for example, currently we are on 4.19.2. This is like last 19 version, and we waited to 20 version goes to version up, like latest one is 20.2, and this is best, so they can fix some stuff, because they introduce new stuff, break something, and after 2 patches they bring it to the stable version, and then we enter switching. And we started with 4.10 version on the SCUM when we started the project, and all the time we were switching to the new version. It's much better for us to keep track and be very close to the final release, because it's much easier. I think the Arc stuck in 4.7 version or something like that, because they changed the engine a lot and it's very hard for them to merge to the latest version. And this is very bad if this something like that happens.
Maybe they should hire you for a couple of months.
Maybe. Also, we are not on the main branch of the Unreal Engine. We are changing the source code all the time to accommodate our game, and that's the bonus of at least on Unreal Engine, because they have their project that's working, so they will probably not help you too much with the project. But if you have the full source code of the engine and you know what you are doing, then you can change some stuff to fix it.
Somebody is asking about horse timing, but somebody already mentioned that we will be able, like there is like, how to say it, animal handling system in a game. Like sometimes like animals are gonna come in your aid to help you in fights, right?
Yeah, we already had the code for that. It's currently removed, but animal handling skill is at some point developed, but we will probably redone it from scratch. Idea is that you can tame the animal and then you can feed the animal, and this will be your pet. So that's the idea.
Oh my
And
god.
later on, idea is to maybe put the backpack on your donkey or horse so he can carry your stuff
Shots.
and stuff like that. Maybe have your personal bear to protect you.
That would be so sick. I mean, probably on the beginning it is gonna be like taming wolves or...
Yeah, and also, for example, chickens, so you can get the eggs from it. And
we will be able to throw heads. That would be great.
yeah, we need to do that. I think it's in latest patch or patch before last one, we added that you can use hands as weapon for punching other people. Idea for effigies are also in the game, so you can put the head on the stick to make marker territory. That's already in development.
I have seen a lot of questions about the ghillie suit, but like we already have like camo that is overpowered. I mean, even if you guys are gonna add ghillie suit, you need to nerf like every other camo, right?
Yeah, we need to balance everything out, but it's in plan, so we'll add it sooner or later. Yeah, we also need to make some clothes from the horse, to have horse head or donkey head and that pig head.
Yeah, but I was actually talking with the guy that is working on clothes. He said that there is so much work for him already, and when somebody's giving him suggestions, like he's like, please, we have priorities, we cannot do that yet.
Yeah, did you know that only one guy was done all the clothes in the game?
Yeah. I was talking with him on the Discord.
Yeah, airdrops are planned very soon.
If there are like different types of the dynamic random events, for example, like cargo, like for example, like extraction cargo, like from one town to the another, or airdrops or heli crash sites or something like that, like
some kind of convoys protected by sentries, maybe, or but we always need to have some countermeasure for that. For example, if sentry is guarding something, we need that have that EMPs that we're talking about, or some RPGs that you can shoot the sentry down, because it will be very hard to come close, or have some kind of Tech 1 personnel as NPCs, but this takes some time to write AI for that.
I mean, yeah, when you're at the point when you add actual NPCs in a game, like into the safe areas, it will be much easier. Like you said, like when you make one stuff, it is automatic like chain reaction that you can make, and this and this and that, right?
Yeah. Then you get the explosion of these different possibilities because of that, and lots of stuff currently are done with the same features. For example, this chest is improvised like probably last week. I think last week before release, because we reused chest as a backpack. You won't believe. The chest is type of backpack that you cannot carry on yourself. So because it's too heavy and takes so much place. But the chest is actually backpack. Lots of stuff are done from existing features, but they need to be redone from scratch to make good options, like chest with locks, so you have some kind of mini game where you need to lock pick that chest, or make it like having some password on the chest and stuff like that. But this is something that needs to be made from scratch, and this chest currently is actually backpack.
Yeah, you can bring mech down, but it is not efficient, guys. There are gonna be like stronger weapons and explosives and gadgets to counter mechs when it is gonna be time. Now it's not time.
Yeah, and the mechs will be tougher also when we bring the RPGs, rocket launchers, and stuff like that. Then the mech will also have flamethrower and some crazy shit to counter that. But
There
you
is
will...
the guy. There is the guy.
Okay.
He's
Where is
outside.
he?
He's outside. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, shitting in a bucket?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a dildo!
Oh, nice.
Is it true that it is one-shotting puppets when you're throwing them?
Probably. I don't know.
Can you smack me in the face?
Let me try it. Wait. Let me try to
right now?
to throw at you.
Okay. Oh my god! 1%. I think I'm rip. It took 34%. I'm on 1% right now bandaging. I'm rip.
Oh! Died. Killed by dildo.